Hello, everyone. I'm hoping you had a really restful and re-energizing weekend. I tried to do that for myself. So this semester, this summer course flew. It went very fast, um, which of course we expected, but it really went faster than what I thought. So we are in the final week, and I've already had conversations with some of you. Some of you reached out to me to discuss questions that you had around your your um, your progress up to now, questions about the final. Um, so it's been nice to also get to know you at least through this screen, through Zoom. Um, okay, and based on those conversations that I have had with people, there are questions that I would like to address here to all of you in case some of you might be a little confused perhaps or have questions about especially the final. So there are two options for the final. One is a set of questions to which you have to provide answers in an essay form. What this means, the essay format, is that you won't have to write an essay for each one of the questions, right? An essay in the sense of having, 5, 6 paragraphs. That's not the idea. What I mean by an essay form is sort of the nature of an essay, which is to think, right? So I do not want to see answers that simply answer the question in a very direct way, right? So if, for example, one of the questions would be something like, what is culture? I would not like to see answers such as, culture is the stuff that people produce in their process of resolving problems, right? I think that's just a textbook kind of answer, which is not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is what many of you have been doing on a weekly basis, and it's to engage with the question, right? To, of course, quote the book, right? Because you do have to have some technical understanding of the matter, of the issues raised here. So quote the book, but also bring examples from your own life, right? From your own anecdotal sort of experience. Elucidate those examples with the theory from the book. I talked to some of you guys, and we talked about, if you have, let's say, other authors that you would like to quote, of course, bring them to the conversation, right? So that's what I mean by an essay form. It can be just a paragraph or two each question, but a detailed, nuanced answer, right? Not simply X is culture, because that would be just that wouldn't be enough. I really want to see in your answers that you understand very well the content from each one of the questions. And for me, the way to understand whether you have understood very well and internalized the content matter is by you explaining it, bringing examples, etc. Right? So that's. I hope this is clear. Right? We do not need one essay per question. That's not the objective or the scope of this final. Now, on the other, the research option would be more like an essay, right? In the most conventional way, right? You will take a dilemma, a preoccupation that you might have, right? Some of the themes that perhaps we read and that you became very interested about, and you are going to expand on it, right? So I think that option it's clearer, perhaps, than the first one. Though, if you have questions, please reach out with time, right? You have a week up to now to complete this. So that's the final. Now, one other thing that I've had conversations with students is about their progress up to now, because time is very constrained, right? Up to now, if you have sent to me your weekly assignments and I haven't responded asking you to clarify one thing, or if I haven't responded with saying, this is completely wrong, or asking you to submit your work because you haven't done so, etc., that means then that you have full points for whatever you have submitted up to now, right? So that's just so that we are on the same page. That's in terms of weekly assignments. And lastly, we do have a set of readings for this week, right? There is still content to be studied this week. So I'm thinking of the best way for you to submit a weekly assignment for week 4, for this last one, apart from your final, right? That's another assignment, a separate one. And here's what I think we should do. You are going to write a letter, no more than 3 pages, double-spaced, right? Short, 800 words. A letter to a friend or to a family member or to a romantic partner, right? To someone that you feel is close to you, and you are going to write this letter telling this person about this course, right? Think as if you hadn't seen this person in a year, 2 years, even longer perhaps. It's a person that lives far away, and you want to tell them about these past 3 weeks, right? So just explain. You can either take one of the concepts or 3, 4 concepts that you learned or cases that we read about, and you are going to tell them, I learned that ethnography is this, this, and that, and I like it because of this reason. I think it's problematic because of this reason, right? So whatever you found during the course, including the documentaries that we saw, or the films, including those, just sort of tell someone your reactions to it, your most important learnings, some of the preoccupations that you might have, right? Perhaps you don't agree completely with this idea of cultural relativism, right? Perhaps you don't agree with the approach, with ethnography as an approach to do scientific studies. So just write to this person as almost as if it was a diary, right? But you're telling your reader, your friend, your family member, whoever you choose. You can even invent a character if you want. You're going to tell them these reflections, these understandings, and do not let this be more than 3 pages double space, which means that it's about 700, 800 words, right? So you'll just start as if you were writing a letter. Hi, Laura. I took this course and I want to share with you these learnings, these critiques, etc. Okay, so I think it's very straightforward. Be creative, write as you wish, right? I'll just grade you mostly on your ability to tell your learnings to another person, right? I'm not grading you here about how well did you understand, did you understood concepts, but it's more about you engaging with your own experience in the course and with the material. So that's that. I will be very attentive in case anyone needs to meet with me via Zoom, of course, to just go over any of this information that I shared here. Looking forward for the letters that are due also on Sunday, right? You can of course send these earlier if you want, but both the final and this week's assignment are due this coming Sunday by midnight. I have very short time to grade these final assignments, so I really ask you to send them on time, right? And I just can't accept late papers just because I won't have time to read them and grade them in a just way. Okay, so that's all. Hoping that everyone has learned. There's a lot of material and we just can't learn all of it. But I hope that you have found some themes, some cases interesting. and fruitful and insightful, and that you found the course fruitful and a learning experience, and a good learning experience. With that, I'll leave you, and hopefully I'll see some of you on campus next semester. Bye bye, and thank you for a great semester up to now.